Warner Brothers and DC had quite the amount of games that they were showing off, guys, at the Game Awards of 2021. And another one of those was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And this is a title, guys, from the very initial teaser that we got to the reveal trailer to things of that nature. It got me very excited. Now, once again, guys, kind of like Wonder Woman, which we talked about a little bit earlier in the show, I'm not a huge fan of the Suicide Squad movies. The first one, I will say, I thought it was better than a lot of people were saying. But the second one, The Suicide Squad by James Gunn, I absolutely couldn't stand. Couldn't even finish the movie, really. I thought it was that bad. And I know that, look, guys, movies and games, they're all, obviously all of us have our own opinions about it. And that's what I think what makes it really awesome is, something that I think is awesome, you may think is terrible, and something that you think's great, I may think differently, so on and so forth. So all of us, and that's what makes us human, and that's what I absolutely love about the world around us. But with that being said, though, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, for me to say that I'm very excited about this means something, because I'm not a huge fan of the movies at this point in time. I'm a huge fan of the comics. I think they're great. And like I said, I would really, if they were going to take a direction of one of the movies, I would certainly hope that they would take one more so from the version of David Ayer's Suicide Squad than James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. But I want to talk really quickly, obviously, guys, about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, all the things that we know now at this point in time. You guys can check out all of my Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League content on the YouTube channel at this point in time. Let's get into it. So in an article written by Lauren Morton of PC Gamer, Warner Brothers has yet another open world DC game headed our way, this one with a team of 4 villains. Excited to learn more about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It's fair to say that if you're a DC fan, there are a couple of big games to look forward to in the not too distant future. Announced at the DC Fandom presentation in 2020, we heard that we'll be getting 2 superhero and villain games soon. Gotham Knights will be following some Bat Family, while Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will have us tagging along with some favorite villains. While we haven't heard much about Kill the Justice League just yet, we have an interview with Rocksteady's creative director to scour for details and a couple story trailers to dissect in the meantime. There are characters and hints about the story to uncover, as well as villains to discuss. So, when is the Suicide Squad release date? Well, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will launch sometime in 2022, though Warner Brothers hasn't announced a specific date. So, that tells me, guys, most likely it's going to be late 2022, and there's a possibility it could get delayed even further than that. But nonetheless, I would say that we should probably be getting the game and be able to have our hands on it in 2022 at some point. If you guys have not checked out the trailer yet, you absolutely should. I loved the trailer a lot. I thought the Kill the Justice League's gameplay trailer was really awesome as well. Alyssa, you saw the most recent trailer that came out. It was a gameplay trailer showing off all the different characters and what they can do as you're playing. What did you think about the Suicide Squad movies, first of all?
I didn't like them. I didn't watch either one of them fully.
And so what did you think about the trailer, the gameplay trailer, now that people know?
It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah?
And like you said, I feel like it's going to let you be each character. So that's pretty cool. Like, it's not like you start the game as one character and you have to stay one character.
Right. And I think that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, not having to play as just one character. It's interesting. Obviously, we have the cinematic trailer that came out, which showed Superman, but it seems like, obviously, that there was going to be some villainous types of ordeals when it came to Superman, when it comes to all these different characters. But even the Flash in this is going to be really interesting as well to see how that's played out. Is Batman going to be in this? That would be something that would be really interesting, because it's called Kill the Justice League, so I'm feeling like all of the Justice League characters are going to be in this game in some capacity or another. And I think it's awesome that you get to play as the villains. I think that's a really cool concept, and I think they're going to crush it, to say the least. So what's the story here? Well, Kill the Justice League is part of the Arkhamverse, meaning it carries forward the story of Arkham Knight. Batman's out of the picture, but don't get this confused with Gotham Knights, and the story's picking up in Metropolis instead of Gotham. So during the trailer, the squad gets tactical directions from their boss, Task Force founder Amanda Waller. If you're not familiar with the Suicide Squad already, their incentive to stay in line and in the line of fire are deadly nanobombs injected into their heads when Waller conscripts them into the crew. So the characters, guys. So you've got officially known as Task Force X, the Suicide Squad sends dangerous supervillain conflicts on equally dangerous missions in return for reduced prison sentences. The government Black Ops Squad has had a number of members in the DC Extended Universe. Kill the Justice League will star 4 of the bunch: Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang. So, absolutely awesome, guys. And I think the coolest thing about the gameplay trailer is that it shows off each individual character. It reminds me of Marvel's Avengers, that game when it came out. I'm hoping this game isn't as buggy and has as many glitches and issues, but I think it's just an awesome concept. They're kind of following right in the footsteps of Marvel's Avengers. So, who are the actual villains? And this is really interesting. Well, Superman is definitely one of them. There are likely other Justice League rogues making trouble in Metropolis as well. From what we can tell, it seems like Brainiac is actually the one pulling the strings. One of his abilities is mentally possessing others. So maybe that he's found a way to put the entire Justice League under his influence. And that's what is going to be really interesting about this, because we haven't seen this, guys, in the Justice League movie or any of the DC films at this point. But this is something that does happen in some of the comics. Brainiac, guys, is going to be an interesting villain in this, making some of the Justice League villains at the same time. So before getting any further, Alyssa, you kind of have seen, obviously, the gameplay trailer at this point, and you're hearing some of the talk about some of the villains. Are there any villains that you'd really want to see in this one? Obviously, we've got Joker a lot.
I like Harley Quinn.
Well, she's going to be in this, obviously, because of Kill the Justice League. Is there anybody? Well, let's just say whether it's villains or heroes. Obviously, you want to see Batman. They're saying that Batman's not going to be in this one, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I feel like he's going to be in some form or another because of the Arkham storyline and how they're just saying that he's essentially done at this point, or that version is done. I have a hard time believing it, but nonetheless, who would you like to see in this?
Well, I'd like Superman to not be bad because he's not a villain. So I'd like him to just be regular Superman. I don't know. I'd like to see all those superheroes. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. And you like fighting the superheroes? That would be interesting.
I mean, that's going to be interesting.
I know.
Because we've never fought the superheroes, so that'll be weird.
It does look like in the trailer, though, like the villains are fighting some of the other villains, like creatures and things of that nature. So it doesn't feel
it'll be
like...
interesting if some of the superheroes turn rogue.
Right.
And fight each, like, the other superheroes.
Yeah. And that'll be something very interesting. So here's the big question as well, guys. Suicide Squad campaign can be single player or co-op. So the Suicide Squad works as a unit, but you as a player can work alone if you choose. Rocksteady says that if you choose to play solo, the other 3 members of the squad will be handled by AI playing alongside you. You can pick a favorite team member to stick with, but you're also free to hop into the shoes of any team member at any time. If you want to have friends drop in, they can take on the role of the other squad members for a total of 4 players in co-op. Rocksteady says that it's a seamless experience, meaning you can have friends join or drop out as needed and won't be forced to commit to solo or co-op during the campaign. So that's awesome. So like you and I can both play together if we want to, play different characters. You play as Harley Quinn and I play Deadshot or King Shark or something of that nature. And that's kind of cool. Or I can play by myself. Big question though, is there going to be multiplayer? Whether it's multiplayer, where it's PvP or PvE, where you're going up against waves and waves of enemies, I'm really hoping there's multiplayer experiences here as well to be had. Co-op single player, we're almost there. If they have multiplayer, it'll round out a full package, which I think would be absolutely awesome. But with that being said, guys, let us know in the comment section down below, what do you think so far about Kill the Justice League, or I should say Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section down below. And for more Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.